what are the things you have to consider? You said it's something that you can decide in 5 minutes. So what are some of the things you have to consider?
Well, we all had our own convictions to stand for elections. And we also have our supporters.
So we all came on a specific platform. Each one of us, for me, was education. It was so clear. Education and training, where I can contribute to. So even if the new exco now, I mean now as the one that's going on, if they should invite me back to advise on education and training, I'll be more than happy to do that.
In the Treasury area, during my short time there, I believe that the corporate governance, there's room for improvement. And also the accounting system is quite a dated system. As to whether there's any upgrades and so on, I have my doubts. But then again, you know, they have decided that they don't require our expertise. So, and we don't want to polarize or to really, you know, split away further. So we decided to graciously step down.
Because I don't know if this was addressed earlier on. One issue that was raised earlier on was that they felt, you know, the new exco was inexperienced and do not understand civil society well enough. What are your thoughts on that? The idea of the corporate mindset versus the civil society?
It's not entirely true that the exco has got no community service. Maureen has served in the community before.
Yeah, so I've been 6 years.
I've done a lot of
6 years president of the Singapore Training Association.
I was part of AWARE before in the early 1990s with the Sexual Harassment Committee, so I'm not sure if their claims are accurate.
Yeah, and
I've spent 2 years doing counselling and support for women in prison aftercare. So I've definitely been involved in volunteer groups.
Like for myself, yes, I said that it's my first foray into community work. But I did not come in with the assumption that I'm going to be president. Right? I came in to help in the areas that I feel I can contribute easily and comfortably, which is marketing and publicity. So I don't see how we're not equipped to run an exco. And of course, when we first came in, we were not going to assume the leadership position. It was supposed to be chaired by Claire Nazar as the president. So under the circumstances, situation, that's where we are today.
One of my personal thoughts after this event is that AWARE is recognized as the women advocacy group in Singapore. As to whether, based on today's meeting, whether the AWARE's membership is an accurate representation of women in Singapore. That is something which I think I have certain thoughts about. You know, I need to think through that. So
Is you referring to the men who were there? Or?
No, what I meant is if we look at the meeting, the people who turned out, and what was expressed, would the general opinion be reflected of women in Singapore in general? It calls to question the point that AWARE does provide feedback to the United Nations through the CEDAW vehicle to push for women's interests, women's rights. So AWARE is a very strong vehicle. Now, if I look at the meeting today, one thing which I personally wonder about is, would the opinions be reflected in today's meeting? Is it reflected of the broad spectrum of women across Singapore society? I mean, Singapore has, if we assume that we have 2 million women, does the 3,000 members today in AWARE represent the views of the 2 million women?
Does it?
Well, in my personal opinion, if we base it on today's expression of thoughts, it may not be.
Okay, thank you very much for coming. Thank you.